Gordon is a big blue express engine, and he thinks very highly of himself. He takes a near non-stop train from Vickerstown all the way to Knapford and back, and everyone knows how highly he thinks of himself. Gordon thinks that no other train is as important as his precious express. But one day, he was in for a nasty shock. "Oh, for goodness sake," Gordon said knowingly. "Not that engine." That engine was Alfred, the private engine. He was the Duke and Duchess's private escort across the British Isles. He wasn't a necessarily rude engine, but he had a bad sense of classism. So it was needless to say that Gordon never liked it when he came to visit the sheds. And this time was no different. "Excuse me," Gordon said as he rolled in, "but I am sure that these sheds are reserved for Sodor engines only." James then cut in.
"Oh, come on, Gordon, he's a very important engine."
"Yes, quite. And I'm of the belief that sheds should be reserved for important engines, Gordon." "Pah! What makes you so important, Alfred?" "Oh, what makes me so important? I'm a private engine. I escort the Duke and Duchess of Boxford," he announced. "That may be so, but I pull the express." But Alfred wasn't impressed. "Ha ha ha! You pull the express. Those are just commoner people, Gordon. You are a rancid commuter engine, Gordon, and that's all you are. To compare the smelly public to the Duchess of Boxford, I am insulted, Gordon." "Does anyone else have anything to say about this?" asked Gordon.
Just see this as like a reality check, Gordon.
"I'm not involved in any of this. Even you, James?" James said nothing. He just looked away. "Fine," yelled Gordon. "If that's how it is, I'll be off. I have a real train to take." And he puffed off to take away the express. But even after that good long run, Gordon felt no better. He backed into the yard where Thomas was, groaning to himself quietly. "Hey, old fat face," said Thomas. "What's got you, old muck?" "Thomas, I'm really not in the mood for this today." "Alright. What crawled down your funnel and died?" "No, it's that private engine. He says I'm just a filthy commuter train. The express is nothing like a commute." "Oh, that guy. Yeah, we had our own trouble with him. He said I was wrong for being a push-pull." "Shall we pay him out?" asked Gordon. But before Thomas could reply, a colossal engine with a large train pulled in.
I'm sorry if I was interrupting any conversations, but I'm from the other railway, you see.
"Oh, not at all. What is it you need?" asked Gordon.
Oh, just somewhere to rest for the night, is all. And of course, someone to take away my train. Could this little shunter do that, in fact?
Sure. I wasn't doing much anyway." And Thomas puffed away to shunt the train. "So, you are British Rail? Have you come far?"
Oh, why, of course I have. You see, the diesel derailed, you see, outside the yard. And I was the only engine that could help at the time. So you're Gordon, I presume?
"Oh, yes. You've heard of me?"
Why, of course. Every steam engine on the other railway knows about the premier express engine of Sodor.
This did stroke his ego. "Will you be staying long?"
Oh, not too long, really. I'll be gone by tomorrow.
"Well, in that case, what is your name?"
Most engines call me Dudley.
And the visiting engine puffed away to the sheds. But when he got to Knapford Sheds, he wasn't warmly welcomed at all.
Excuse me, but what kind of joke is this? Get away, you mucky engine,
Alfred said rudely.
Afraid of a little grime? Or are you afraid of proper work?
Proper indeed. Heed my advice, engine. Get a good wash down, and then
You don't tell me what to do, old man,
Dudley snapped back. Indeed. The only one showing their age here is you. And the two engines just bickered for hours on end.
You think we should at least, interact or something?
If these big engines are anything like Gordon, it's best to let them hash it out and deal with it themselves. This only reminded him of how Gordon felt earlier, and it made James very worried. Feeling bad, he went to go apologize to Gordon, but when James got there, he was surprised.
Goodness me, Gordon, what happened here?
Ugh. While I was sleeping, something or someone caused this truck to derail in front of me. And what do you want?
Oh, yeah, I came to say...
But before he could apologize, Dudley steamed in.
May I be of assistance?
Oh, finally a proper engine. Oh, yes. My express leaves soon. Could you take it for me? Why, of course. And Dudley steamed away to get the express, while James was curious why he was here and not at the sheds.
You know, it's a bit weird that he's here, not at the sheds. I mean, he was just there. Why would he come here?
You best not be assuming anything about this engine, James. They've been more of a friend to me than you have. Now, be off with you. I don't want to talk right now. And James did as he was told. Late that evening, Dudley was making good time with the express when he made it to Vicarstown, and the station master made sure he knew it. Thank you for acting on such short notice, said the station master. The Fat Controller even wants a word with you when you get back to the sheds. Thank you, sir, Dudley said slyly. Indeed, the Fat Controller had nice words for Dudley. I thank you again for helping us out in a pinch, Dudley. I will be telling your controller about how useful you are.
I'm just happy to be of help, sir,
Dudley said. And with that, the Fat Controller got back in his car and drove away, leaving the engines to their rest. All but Alfred and Dudley.
You think you're so special? You pulled a commuter train. Oh? I think you're just jealous. Because you would never be able to pull a train like me.
And Alfred said nothing more, and went straight to sleep. But when Dudley saw that no one was looking, he slowly and quietly left the shed.
There they are,
said Dudley, coupling up to Alfred's coaches. And what do you think you're doing? Stealing another engine's coaches? The nerve of it!
You're smarter than I give you credit for. I'll give you that.
And then I'll also assume you're responsible for what happened at Knapford Docks yesterday, giving you a clean run of the express.
Why do you even care? You think it's a commoner train.
Because I know what you're doing. Putting engines in danger so you can take their jobs, so you can prove yourself to whatever authority figure will take you in.
Oh, so you have me all figured out then. What are you going to do about it anyway, old man?
I'll tell the controller, and then he'll send you and your mucky criminal ways back from whence you came.
You know what I think? I think you're jealous. Jealous that you'll never be able to pull trains like normal engines do. You pull around a bunch of busybodies, but not an actual train. No goods or passengers, so what are you good for? You're just a glorified bus on rails. And even then, you won't beat that. Not when you lose your coaches.
Excuse me? But before Alfred got a straight answer, Dudley was already off, taking his coaches with him. Oh, no, you don't! And Alfred quickly gave chase to Dudley. Little did either engine know, neither were alone, as James was behind the sheds, and he heard it all.
I must tell the other engines tomorrow. Quickly.
And he did. It was early into the morning once Alfred cornered Dudley. What do you think you're doing with my coaches, you ruffian?
I thought you were smarter. Why would Sir Topham had listened to an unrespectable engine like you? I mean, what kind of engine loses their coaches?
Threatening me to keep quiet? Is this your final stand?
This is not survival of the fittest. This is the survival of wits. And my wits have not brought me this far just to be silenced by you.
But as Dudley puffed backwards towards the buffers, something
What the actual...
What just happened?
We will never speak of this again. Later that day at Vickerstown, James was telling the engines all about Dudley.
He's been using all of us, making himself look good by causing accidents, taking our jobs.
Oh, I should have known, Gordon wept.
Yeah, and I don't blame you for not listening to me. I shouldn't have thrown you under the rails yesterday. Yeah, the both of us shouldn't. Even if you're a bit arrogant, you're still our friend.
You have anything to add, Henry? I did not get involved, therefore I did nothing wrong.
Alright, how do we pay him out then?
Leave that part to me. Once their drivers agreed, Gordon's driver went to Dudley to tell him to take the express. Then Emily's driver told Alfred to take the express. Needless to say, neither was happy when they met at the points.
So you do care about the express?
I do not. It's just that you don't deserve it.
Say what you want, but I'm taking that train.
I don't think so. And Alfred shot forward and knocked Dudley right off the rails. Serves him right, Alfred said to himself.
Okay then. I'll just need to find a turntable, get turned around, and take the train.
But when Alfred got to the front of the train, he was surprised at who was heading it. Excuse me, what are you doing with the express?
I think it was obvious. I'm taking the express. And besides, wasn't it you who said that the express is, filthy? I thought it wasn't worth your time.
Well, Alfred stammered. Yes, quite. Good luck, James. James sniggered. When Dudley was re-railed, he went to the engine sheds before he had to leave.
Tell me, Gordon, will the Fat Controller be seeing me leave?
Dudley asked. No, said Gordon. He will not.
Yes,
Dudley stuttered.
Does anyone else have any last words?
Have a good trip back,
Emily said. Indeed, added Gordon. And Henry, of course, said nothing at all. Dudley scowled, but he didn't argue. And with that, he left the sheds and Sodor. Okay, Henry, I need to know, what is with you? You hear that sound, Gordon? It's the sweet sound of silence. I did nothing today, besides my work, and therefore, nothing bad happened to me. Now, if you don't mind, and I hope you don't, I'm going to sleep. Good day. Meanwhile, Alfred's private owner, the Duke, was quite disappointed with his engine. First you lose your coaches, then you attack another engine for a train you weren't meant to pull. I'm quite disappointed in you, Alfred.
I'm sorry, sir.
Well, unfortunately, Alfred, for the safety of me and my wife, I have chosen a new private engine. Unfortunately for Alfred, he was replaced. But given his attitude to many engines, perhaps this is what he deserved. Don't you think?
Afternoon, Edward. What brings you up here?
Questions, Neil. There's a mystery going on, and I feel like you know something about it.
Oh, never mind. Percy came up asking the same things as well. And I'll tell you what I told him. I know nothing.
So he's seen Lady too.
Edward, where did you hear that name?
She came to me in a dream, told me to find her, and I did. But then she sent me home, and I'm just wondering why.
Alright, listen. I have seen her, but I can't tell you where at the moment. As for that, well, I know about as much as you do, especially with all this magical nonsense.
Neil, did she say anything?
Edward, I really wish I could tell you, but I can't. It's for your own safety. Listen, for the sake of every engine on this island, Edward, you need to stop poking your nose around, because you won't like what you find. Cheerio, Edward.
Listen, I really want to help you. But I can't help if I don't know what's going on. So please, if you need anything, any help, just find me.